my God, guys. Oh my God. I don't know what this is. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Adventures with John here, bringing you guys another video today. It's a little bit dark right now, so it's still going to be hard for you guys to see me. But today, we're not trout fishing. We are down at the coast. So right now, we're over by the aquarium, and I think this is the Lions Lighthouse, if I remember right. But they have some public parking over there. It's not too bad. It only let me pay up to 10 a.m., which was like $6. But if this is a decent spot and we're catching good fish, I'll walk over there at like 9:30 and see if I can extend it until about noon. If you guys can see that over there, I know it's still kind of dark, but the Queen Mary is right over there, and we have the Lions Lighthouse right here, kind of to give you guys a little bit of a reference. I have never been to this spot before, but I was doing my research on Google, and you know, I was looking at catches on FishBrain and stuff like that, and it actually looks like it'll be a pretty decent spot. So I've got my two bigger rods out here. These are the rods that I use for ocean fishing, or if I'm going to be going like catfishing, or you know, just like a more hefty rod. I definitely wasn't going to bring any of my lightweight trout rods out here, so we're going to keep it pretty simple today. I do have like jigs and lures and other stuff. This is my saltwater tackle box, this little blue one right here, but we're going to keep it simple today, and we are just going to be using frozen shrimp and squid. And as you guys know who fish in the ocean, whether it's offshore fishing or fishing from the shore, you can use shrimp and squid to catch pretty much anything. You can catch all kinds of things on it. So we're gonna keep it simple today. I've got 2 bags. It's like a mixed bag. It's got frozen shrimp and frozen squid in it. It's store-bought, so of course it's not fresh, but you know, living 2 hours away from the ocean, I'm kind of limited to what I can get from the store, and none of the bait shops open this early down here in this area. I think right now it's like 5 a.m. So I wanted to get out here super early, and I wanted to get out here before the sun came up. We're gonna start over here. I walked all the way down to the lighthouse where the path kind of bends around and starts going the other way. So we're gonna start down here. I'm gonna get these poles rigged up. Well, they're already rigged up. I'm gonna get some shrimp on one and squid on the other one. I'm gonna throw one out there far and put the bell on it, and my other pole I'm just gonna fish right here close to the shore in some of these pockets that are by the rocks to see if we can pull out some like spotted bass or something like that. So yeah, I know it's still dark. It's like 5 a.m., but I'm gonna get my headlamp on in case we catch something before the sun comes up. And yeah, hopefully it'll be a good day today. I've got my wife at home. We've got stuff set aside to make some fish tacos, so that's gonna be the real goal for today. Is I know with like perch and croakers and stuff like that, there's not really a size limit. So if all I'm catching is like some perch and some croakers, if they're big enough and I can keep enough of them, we can still make some fish tacos. But of course, if we were to get lucky and get like a keeper halibut or 1 or 2 keepers for like the spotted sand bass and stuff, I think the California halibut has to be at least 22 inches, and for any of like the spotted bass, sand bass, anything like that, I believe they have to be 14 inches to keep them. So we're gonna see if we can get lucky today. We've got a full day of fishing if we need it. I've come prepared. If I run out of bait, we'll go to a bait store, whatever the case may be. But your boy is not gonna leave today without some fish for some fish tacos for the wife at home. So yeah, we're gonna get all rigged up here, and let's see what we can catch. All right, well, he came back. He's biting again. They just kind of come up and tug on it a little bit, so you've got to wait for them to actually take the hook, because sometimes, you know, the squid might be hanging off a little bit. They'll come up and they'll try to just, you know, bite those little straps that are kind of hanging off the hook, and you know, you got to wait for them to actually bite onto the hook in order to get that hook set. But he just came by and, you know, snagged a little nibble, so I mean, I doubt he got the squid off by doing that. But we'll see. I'll give it another minute or two. If he doesn't bite again, I'll check on the squid. Hey guys, just a second ago I was reeling in my squid to check on it, and I saw a big ray come swimming right in through here, right up along these rocks. And I think he may have scared some of these little fish, because now like the last 5 minutes or so, I haven't been getting any bites in these holes, when right before that, every time I threw in, within not even a minute, within just seconds of it going and sinking to the bottom, I was getting bites. So I'm wondering if he scared some of these little fish like back into these rocks. I'm sure it might take them a few minutes, but they'll eventually come back out and start eating again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna reel it in and check the squid, because whatever bit before is not still biting. That's one thing that I've noticed with ocean fishing when you're fishing from shore. Well, one of my pieces of squid is gone. That's one thing that I've personally noticed, and I don't know if anybody else has, you know, noticed the same thing when they're shore fishing. But when I've got a pole in the water and I'm holding it, it's great, because, you know, when you get a bite, you feel that bite, and if it's a good enough bite, even the first hit, you can set that hook. But whenever I have a pole out there and I've got the bells on it, I always seem to, you know, whenever the bell's going off and I pick up the pole, the fish just seem to not be biting. Either they got the bait off, or they just like took a little swipe at it and lost interest. I never seem to, you know, be able to, like, you know, you're lake fishing, you start getting a bite, you pick up your pole, you wait for that next bite, and you set the hook. When you're ocean fishing, it seems like, for me anyway, from shore, that bell starts going off for bites, I pick up the pole, you know, take the bell off, and they're just not biting anymore. So I'm not sure if that's just something that I'm doing. Of course, I have been ocean fishing plenty of times, but I don't have a whole, most of my experience from fishing is like lakes and rivers and streams. You guys have seen all my other content, and I've kind of got all of that keyed down to like a science. You know, I know what I'm doing when it comes to those. When it comes to ocean fishing, I would say I could still be considered a novice with ocean fishing, kind of like a intermediate beginner kind of thing. I've definitely been ocean fishing a handful of times, especially growing up. We used to go out on the fishing charters like at least once or twice a year. And of course, with the fishing charters, you know, they got the poles, they got the setups. Literally all you have to do is bait your hook and drop it down. They put you on the fish. I lived in Monterey Bay for 4 years, and I did quite a bit of ocean fishing when I lived in Monterey Bay from the shore. That's where most of my experience came from as far as shore fishing goes in the ocean. And of course, in Monterey Bay, you've got those piers, you've got those sheer cliffs. You know, you can pretty much catch fish anywhere over there. So I always had a lot of luck just using frozen shrimp, frozen squid out there. But of course, that still limits my experience. You know, I haven't been ocean fishing just, you know, 50, 100, you know, too many times to count. You know, I've probably been ocean fishing, especially from shore, maybe 10 to 15 times. So I'm still learning the ropes when it comes to ocean fishing, especially from shore. But I'm trying to make it work. I do my research, I watch videos. I was watching a lot of videos of people fishing from the shore in Long Beach and just the LA County area last night and the day before, just trying to get myself ready for this trip. So squid's back on that pole, back out there, got the bell on. Hopefully a fish will come and bite it and actually keep biting it when I come to pick it up. I'm gonna pick back up this other pole and keep fishing some of these holes, and we'll see what we can pull out. Well guys, we decided to move down a little ways, kind of work our way down. After I got that big bite, I fished another 30 minutes in that spot, didn't get any more bites. So we moved our way down just a little bit to this little fishing pier, and I'm glad that I did, because I saw this. It says, do not eat. These fish are contaminated with chemicals known to cause serious health problems. And they've got white croaker on there, top smelt, barracuda, barred sand bass, and black croaker. And I'm glad that I saw this sign, because if we caught any good sized white croaker, black croaker, or barred sand bass over 14 inches for the sand bass, we were going to keep those for some fish tacos. So I'm actually glad that I saw this sign, because that takes 3 fish off of our list of fish that we can keep for that, at least in this area. That's a little bit of a bummer, but if we need to, if we don't have a whole lot of luck in the morning, we can fish here till, you know, 10, 11 o'clock or so. If I'm not having any luck catching anything I can use, we can definitely drive down out of this zone. I'll take a picture of this so I know the zone, down to a different spot and see if we can start pulling something else out. All right guys, well, I've got that pole out in front of the pier. Again, I just casted it out as far as I could get it. So we'll see if we get anything to hit on that. And then with this pole, I am just gonna kind of jig this squid right here underneath the pier, around in different spots underneath the pier, and see if there's any fish hanging out, because this is structure, you know, there is concrete and fish like to hang out around structure. So we're gonna go ahead and, you know, wait, see if that bell starts going off. But in the meantime, we're gonna kind of jig this other one around underneath the pier. I think I know why they have that sign out there about not eating certain species of fish. I think those are the species of fish that actually live in this area. If you catch other species like, you know, California halibut or anything else like that, those fish, they don't live here, I don't think. I think they just kind of swim through here and move along. But, and I could be wrong, guys, but I think the reason why they have that sign is because the species of fish that are actually born in this area and grow up here, this is actually the inlet where the LA River runs out, and you guys know how disgusting the LA River is. So I think for the fish that grow up in this area, because the LA River drains out into the ocean right here, that's probably why those fish are not safe to eat. So we're gonna trust that sign and not keep any of the fish that are on that list. Hopefully we'll get lucky and snag a keeper of something that is safe to eat. But of course we have the whole day out here if we need it. So if I need to drive and move to another spot to fish for like the afternoon bite, or, you know, go somewhere else for the evening bite, we can definitely do that. But since we're already at this spot and I walked all the way over here, we're at least gonna fish a few hours in the morning down here. And yeah, if we need to move to another spot after this, we definitely can. I definitely brought enough tackle and brought enough bait that, you know, we can move around to some different spots and see. I'm almost done with my baby leave. For those of you who don't know, me and my wife did just have a baby. She's almost 2 months old now. So I've been on baby leave for 2 months, because in the state of California, through the state, you can take 2 months of paid baby leave. So I'm almost done with that, and I go back to work tomorrow night. So I'm just trying to get in this last little, you know, fishing trip before I go back to work while I can, while it's easy. And then after that, we're gonna be back to just fishing my days off. So alrighty guys, so we made the 15-minute drive down the beach and we drove down to the jetty. So surprisingly today, I mean, I guess it's a Monday, but it's, you know, pretty late into the morning. I want to say maybe like 7:30 or so, and there's not a whole lot of people fishing on the jetty. There was a few people at the beginning, and then there's a little group of people right here. I can't tell if there's anybody fishing the end of the jetty or not. I guess I do see a guy that's pretty far down there. I don't know if we're gonna go all the way to the end, but we're gonna make our way at least a good ways down the jetty, and we're gonna try to fish some of these rocks and see what we can get. Well guys, we made it. We went all the way down to the end of the jetty. I maybe saw like 10 people fishing on the whole entire thing, so not really crowded today, but we're gonna see what we can do. Same thing as the last spot. I'm gonna get one pole out there, try to throw it real far, get the bell on it with my other pole. I'm gonna fish all these holes right here, and I guarantee you that I'll start pulling out some fish out of these holes, and hopefully we'll get lucky. We'll get a good bite on the other pole that's casted further out. Hopefully we can get some fish that we can take home and eat. I don't know what I got, guys. It feels nice. Finally. I've been waiting forever. I don't even know what this is. This thing is, but it's big, whatever it is. Am I recording? Yeah. Oh my God. Is that a big stingray? I think it's a big stingray. pull either. Yeah, guys, it looks... Dang it, dude. Wait, what is that? It's not a stingray. Is that a triggerfish? I think that's a triggerfish, right? Oh, you guys haven't seen it, but he's tired. I don't know how I'm gonna get him up, dude. I think it's a big triggerfish. Oh, don't get me in there, don't get me in there. Oh, he got me in the rocks, dude. Come on, come on. This guy's stuck down in the rocks. Come on. I think that's a triggerfish. I gotta wait for a wave to come in. There we go, there we go. Come on. No, he broke off. Dang it, dude. He took my hook and everything. Dang it, guys. He got in between these big rocks right here and I couldn't get... I mean, that fish was so big, I don't know how I would have gotten him up anyway. I want to say it was a giant triggerfish. I mean, giant. I don't know how big triggerfish get. And I don't know if you guys were able to see it in the GoPro footage or not, but that was a crazy freaking fight. I just couldn't land that guy. At first I thought, I saw the flat and I thought it was a big halibut, and then I saw the way its body was shaped, and then I thought it was like a stingray or something. And then when I got it in a little more and I saw the way his tail looked and stuff, I think that was a triggerfish, guys. Oh my gosh, I'll have to look it up. I've never caught one before, but I'm almost positive that was just a big triggerfish. Oh guys, no, that literally would have been the first fish of the day. That thing would have not even close to fit in my net, not even close. I was trying to get down to the rocks and I was trying to find a way that I could try to like slide him up onto one of the rocks with like when the tide came in. But dude, he got in between two of those big rocks, and when the tide went out, he snapped off the hook. I can see all the frays and stuff in my line. Yeah, there's a lot of frays and stuff where he was rubbing it on those rocks. Ah, dang it, guys. No. Ah, that was a big freaking triggerfish. That's crazy. Well, all right. I mean, I can't really say that I landed that guy, but that was a really, really good fight. And, you know, it made my mood better, that's for sure, because it's like, I think it's 11 something. It's almost noon. And we hadn't caught a fish yet today. We've gotten plenty of bites, but just hadn't caught any fish yet. That was a nice freaking fight. Oh my gosh. Let me get this pole out of the water so that nothing pulls it into the water, and then I'm gonna re-tie up that other pole and get it back out there. Guys, I'm happy, but at the same time I'm so wait, do I? No, I don't have a fish on here, do I? Guys, I think I have something on here. What? This pole was just sitting there. Maybe not. I mean, it just, maybe I have stuff on it. It feels heavy. It's not like head shaking or anything. But this pole's just got a little bit more weight to it than it should. What is that? Is that a lobster? No way, guys. I really just got a freaking lobster. Oh, he came off. Dang it. Dude, there was a freaking lobster on there. What the heck is going on? I didn't know it would start being this crazy around like noontime. What the heck? Dude, there was a freaking lobster hanging onto one of the hooks. He must have been down there eating my shrimp off of my hooks, and when I started reeling in, he just didn't want to let go. I was gonna say, because it didn't feel like head shaking, it didn't feel like something was fighting, it just felt like there was weight to it. And yeah, there was like a big red lobster just like stuck there. That was crazy, guys. Oh well, all right. Let me tie another rig on this other pole and get shrimp back on my poles and get them back out there. I mean, so far that's something. I mean, that was a big trigger fish. I don't know how big they actually get, but that one was big to me. And then we also had a pretty decent sized lobster that was stuck to our hook, but he ended up letting go when he was getting close to getting out of the water. He let go of it. Dang, guys. All right, well, I guess let's keep it going. Okay, guys, I think I got it wrong. I was saying it wrong. I don't know why my mind just shot to triggerfish. It is not a triggerfish. What I was meaning to say the whole entire time was guitar fish or shovel nose, guitar fish, whatever. I was watching videos before I came out here, and I saw on videos and on Fishbrain that people had been catching what they're calling guitar fish out here. For some reason, just in the moment when everything was going on, my mind was shooting to triggerfish, which I should know better. That's not a triggerfish. But no, I was thinking of guitar fish is what that guy was, and he was a pretty big one. And I don't know if they taste good or not, but I looked it up and it says that you can keep guitar fish and that there's no like minimum size limit or anything like that. So I mean, that guy was really big. I don't know how I would have even carried him back to the truck. He's definitely not going to fit in my little cooler or anything. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god, I don't know what this is. Oh, it broke off. What the hell was that? Oh my god, that had to be a giant. Dude, I thought that guitar fish was big. That thing was pulling so much drag like crazy. What the heck was that? And this is 30-pound braid, and it snapped it like it was nothing. What the hell is going on, guys? Why is this all happening right now? Dude, are you kidding me? That was crazy. What the, I don't know if that was a shark or what that was, but yeah, look at it, straight bit through my line. Like it bit through my line like it was nothing. It did a couple of good runs, and my drag is set really tight. Maybe I should have loosened it up, but it was pulling drag like crazy, so I tightened the drag a little bit. It did another run and was still pulling drag like crazy, and then it just broke my line off. I don't know what the hell that was, but whatever it was freaking big. Oh my god. What the heck is going on right now? Now, the only thing to make the day better is we can actually get a fish or two that we can like keep for like a catch, clean, cook, you know, at home. Make some fish tacos. It's the last thing we need to make this a decent day. No, get out of that rock. Get out of that rock. Oh, dang it. I just got soaked, guys. A wave came and hit me in the back. Woo-hoo. Sweet. There we go, fellas. He came up and hit that thing pretty hard. I thought, I'm right there. I was trying to get those orange fish. So I thought it was one of those orange fish that took it, and he hit it hard. But it is not. Looks like this guy, as long as my app is right, I have one of those apps where you can take a picture of a fish and it'll tell you exactly what kind of fish it is. So I took a picture of this fish, and I guess it is a kelp bass. Oh, look at that. Look at that, guys. He is, I don't know if you can see it, but the zero, I'm starting right at his mouth. He is 14.5 inches. So this guy is a keeper. Sweet. That is awesome, guys. Well, hopefully I can get one or two more fish that I can keep. But that is the #1 keeper right there. We got a 14, oh, I don't know if that's the waves or not. Yeah, I think it's the waves. We got a 14.5 inch kelp bass, and we are going to get this guy inside the cooler. I didn't hit record in time, but we got another one. It looks the same, right? That one I just think is just a little bit lighter because it's younger. But I'm pretty sure that's the same fish. I think it's just smaller. Let me see. And we got this guy literally in the same exact exact spot, and my pole was in there for maybe a minute. So we got this guy pretty quick. He came out and hit it pretty hard too. I was surprised that when he came out he was that small. So look at that, just so I can kind of, I'm like 99% sure this is another kelp sea bass. But let me show you guys real quick. No, I don't want a free trial. You go like this. I don't know how well you guys are gonna be able to say this. Take a picture, it's gonna scan it. Boom, kelp bass. Woo. Hold on, buddy, I'm gonna get you back. I know this one's not a keeper. This one is definitely not 14 inches, not even close. This isn't even half the size of the other one we caught. All right. Well, there we go, guys. Second fish that we've actually brought in of the day. We got another kelp sea bass, literally in the same exact hole that we caught that keeper out of. But we are going to go ahead and get this guy back. So I'm gonna flick him out and open the grips. There we go. Just like that, he shot straight down back into the water. Whew. At least these fish are a lot easier to release than rainbow trout. If you guys know, well, rainbow trout, brown trout, brook trout, freshwater trout in general, you guys know that you have to be really careful putting them back. You gotta wet your hands before you grab them so you don't mess up their slime coat. If you know they're a little bit too stunned, you can't just let them go right away. You kind of have to swim them back a little bit, revive them. With ocean fish, man, you just throw them back in the water, they're good to go, unless a seagull or pelican comes down and snatches them up. But that guy got lucky, he got back down there. So I mean, hey, 2 fish out of the same hole. I'm gonna get another piece of squid on and I'm gonna drop down in that same little hole. I want to see if there's another keeper kelp bass down there. And we got another one. Another kelp bass. This one is not a keeper either. Not even gonna bother measuring this guy. But I mean, the fish are here and the fish are biting, so I will take that. Looks like it might be a little tiny bit bigger than that last one we caught lengthwise, just barely. Actually, it might be a little bit smaller, or maybe the same size, I don't know. Well, there we go, fellas. We got our third kelp bass of the day. This one is also way too small to keep. Maybe like, what, 6 inches? I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 inches. We need him to be at least 14, so let that guy go back. He actually ate the squid head. I've been putting a squid head on the bottom hook and a piece of squid on the top hook. The other two hit the top hook, the piece of squid. That little crazy fella went straight for the squid head. Oh, getting bites. You can tell when it's the ones that are a little bit smaller, because those bigger ones, man, they just come up and grab it. They don't, you know, they don't just sit there and mess with it like the smaller ones do. That's what I've noticed. But I'm definitely getting bites. My pole's down there. I'm only like maybe 30 feet away from my other pole. I'm just like slowly making my way down, like rock to rock. Just, you know, fishing a little bit in front of these rocks. And I'm pulling out these little kelp bass, so I'm just looking for a few more keepers. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll have another crazy thing happen, like, you know, back to back to back earlier today within like 10 minutes. 3 crazy interesting things. And for those of you who ocean fish all the time, I'm sure none of those are crazy to you guys. You guys are used to it. But for someone like me who only comes out and ocean fishes every once in a while, it takes me like 2.5 hours to get down here to the coast. So it's not somewhere I can just go every single week, you know. That's just too much driving, too much gas. I'm almost done with my baby leave, so I'm about to go back to work, and I'm only gonna have, you know, my 2 days off a week to try to fish. And you know, oh, there we go. Woo, look at that. I was waiting for you, Bubba. Oh, look, he already got my other one off. This one's smaller. I think this one's the smallest one today. Sweet. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I could just release him. I don't know why I keep going back there. I mean, if I'm right here in the water, I don't really need my fish grips. I can just get him back. Sweet, there we go. Another little kelp bass. This one is the smallest one that we've caught today. I don't need both my pliers. I don't even know why I have 2 pairs of pliers in this vest. I only need 1. Perfect hook set right in the bottom lip. We are going to... Whoop. Sorry, buddy. He bounced off that rock a little bit, but as soon as he hit the water, he just went straight down, so. All right, we need to go get some more squid on and keep fishing these holes. I know there's gonna be a bunch of these little ones in here, but as you guys saw, that very first kelp bass that we caught was a keeper. It was 14.5 inches. So I know there's gotta be some more keepers in here. There's definitely some bigger ones hiding in some of these holes. It's just a matter of finding them, guys, which we have the rest of the afternoon to try to do. So let's see if we can get lucky. All right, guys, I guess I was recording when I set the hook and I didn't even realize that I was recording, but we got another kelp bass here. A little bit better than the last couple that we've caught, but still not a keeper. So I'm gonna get this guy back. What is that? I think that is our, that's either our 4th or a 5th. I want to say that was our 5th kelp bass that we've caught so far. And of course he took my squid, so got to get back up here, walk back over to our little station and get some more squid. I've got my pelican friend hanging out. He almost flew away when I came over to this little spot and sat down, but now he's just standing there hanging out. He's probably waiting for me to catch another small little bass so that I can throw it back and he can get it. That's probably what he's waiting for. He's doing what I'm doing. He's trying to catch dinner and I'm trying to catch dinner. So either I've got a bunch of kelp on or I've got something. And this pole, I wonder if it's another lobster, because this pole wasn't even going off. I was just reeling it in to check the bait. Oh, is that another shovel nose? Boy. This looks like a miniature version of the one that I caught earlier. But the one that I caught earlier was like 10 times this size. This is like the baby of the one I caught earlier. If this is the same fish, it looks like the same fish. Huh. This wasn't even fighting or nothing. Looks like a miniature version of what I caught earlier. Yep, I was exactly right. It is exactly what I thought, a shovel nose guitarfish. I caught one of these earlier, but it was giant. This is just like a miniature version of the one I caught earlier. That's crazy. All right, well, let me look something up real quick. Right there, and then we got our kelp bass underneath it, so we've got 2 keepers so far, and we still got a few more hours left of light, so we're not going to be fishing out here in the dark time, but we can fish for a little bit longer, maybe another hour and a half, see if we can't get another keeper or something, and then we'll call it a day. But so far so good. We got a revenge on that other one. I knew that's what it was. It's called a shovel nose guitarfish, and the other one that I caught was massive. It was like 3.5 feet long. I mean, I'm just guessing, but maybe at least 15 pounds or more, and it snapped my line down there at the rock. So to get this one feels good. I looked it up and there's no size limit on these guys. It says they taste good, so we're gonna try it out. now it's time to start the long walk along the jetty to get back to the truck. We came down here to Long Beach in the morning, and pretty much the goal for today was, of course, to come out and have fun and catch some fish. But at the same time, our main goal was to catch at least a couple different species of fish that were legal, that we could keep to bring home to cook up for dinner. And mission accomplished. We got a 14.5-inch kelp sea bass, and then we also caught a shovel nose guitar fish. So I've never caught a shovel nose guitar fish before in my life. I didn't even know what they were. But watching videos the last couple of days before I came out here to do this trip, I saw some people catching them, and then also on my FishBrain app I saw them as well. So kind of familiarized myself with them a little bit, and we ended up catching technically 2 of them. We caught one that was massive. I don't know how big they get, but this thing had to have been at least over 3 feet long and maybe 15 pounds or more. This thing was big, and it ended up getting in between the rocks, and it frayed the leader line, and it just broke off. So we managed to catch a smaller one, and I think that was some redemption for the day. But yeah, all in all, I think it was a really good day. We had some fun. We hooked on to a couple of big fish, although we didn't land them. It was still fun. And then we caught about, I think, 5 kelp bass in total. Of course, all the other ones were little, but we did have that one keeper, which was the first one that we caught, so that was nice. And yeah, all in all, I think it was a pretty fun day. I have been to this spot before once with my wife and my son, and we didn't go very far up the jetty, just maybe 20 feet or so, and found like a nice spot. And we didn't catch anything, and of course I was hanging out with the family, so I wasn't really focused on fishing. So to come back out here to this spot and walk all the way down to the end of the jetty, the fishing was actually pretty good. We did some fishing in the morning, we did some fishing in the evening, and now I think it's time for us to head home. So if you guys want to see me come down to the coast more, I know that my channel is mostly freshwater fishing and mostly trout fishing. I'm just a big trout guy. I love going up to the lakes, like the mountain lakes, the streams, the rivers, and fishing for trout. But I do like coming down to the coast and doing some ocean fishing as well, because you never know what you're going to catch. So if you guys want to see me come down here to some different spots, or even come back to the same spot in the near future and do some more videos down here, some saltwater fishing, make sure you guys let me know in the comment section below. Also, make sure you drop a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video, subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, and yeah, other than that, you guys keep fishing, and I'll see you guys next time.